Hello and welcome back. Okay, now from this lecture we are starting the practical sum of chapter number 4 journal. It is advice and in a way it is compulsory that you write all the sums in your class book જે બી તમે મેન્ટેન કરી છે એની અંદર ડેફિનેશન્સ ફોર્મેટ પછી આ સમથી તમે સ્ટાર્ટ કરજો. એક્ઝામ્પલ નંબર 1. Now first example, record the following transaction in the journal book of Priya. Priyaની journal આપણે બનાવવાની. So what you will do, first of all you will prepare a table in one page. You can see this table almost one page or half page માં title આપી દો journal of Priya, આવી રીતના title આપી દો. And as I had explained in previous lecture, total 5 columns તમારે કરવાની. Date, particular, this particular column જે છે that you will keep it maximum, then LF, debit column and credit column. And 5 columns તમારે maintain કરવાની with appropriate space. Okay, this will be your blank table. Now how you will start recording the transactions? So first you will note the year and month, because that year will be common for all the transactions, month also will be common. So here year is given 2014 and month is given March. So in your table journal ની અંદર તમારે શું કરવાનું, સૌથી પહેલાં રાઇટ ડાઉન યર 2014, અહીંયા જો 2014 અને માર્ચ આ લખી નાખો તમારે. ઓકે, તો this is how you have to begin the sum. Now you read the transactions one by one. તો ફર્સ્ટ માર્ચે શું ટ્રાન્ઝેક્શન્સ આપ્યું છે કે goods of 5000 purchased on cash. તો goods purchased on cash, so as per second chapter, goods comes in and cash goes out. These are the two effect. So goods comes in, we will have effect on purchase account, and cash goes out, we will have effect on cash account. તો purchase and cash both are real. જો આખું માઇન્ડમાં પ્રોસેસ થવી જોઈએ. purchase and cash both are real. So rule of real is what? Debit what comes in and credit what goes out. So purchase account debit and cash account credit, that will be the entry for this transaction. So you can see in the solution. Okay, first entry તમે જો purchase account debit to cash account. You try to understand the presentation. purchase account પછી અહીંયા સ્પેસ રાખી, ડેબિટ એકદમ એન્ડમાં લખ્યું, બરાબર, ટુ ડેબિટના કોલમમાં 5000, ટુ કેશ અકાઉન્ટ, ટુ લખતી વખતે અહીંયા સ્પેસ રાખી, દેટ ઓલ્સો યુ નોટ. સો ટુ કેશ અકાઉન્ટ ક્રેડિટ સાઇડ 5000. being goods of 5000 purchased on cash. Being is nothing but it's a brief narration that you have to write for the brief history of the transactions. Okay, so this is end of first transaction. Second, goods of 8000 purchased from Nandan on credit. So again we purchase goods, so goods comes in એટલે purchase account debit થઈ, તો આપણે આની પહેલાં ટ્રાન્ઝેક્શનમાં જોયું. Now here it is purchased on credit, so Nandan is giver. તો નંદન અકાઉન્ટ પર્સનલ થયું, ડેબિટ ધ રિસીવર, ક્રેડિટ ધ ગીવર. ના રૂલ પ્રમાણે નંદન અકાઉન્ટ ક્રેડિટ થાય. તો સેકન્ડ એન્ટ્રી તમે જો અગેન પરચેઝ અકાઉન્ટ ડેબિટેડ લાઈક ફર્સ્ટ એન્ટ્રી. ટુ ક્રેડિટમાં શું કર્યું? નંદન, બિકોઝ ઇટ ઇઝ પરચેસ્ડ ઓન ક્રેડિટ. સો નંદન becomes our creditors. Okay, being goods purchased on credit, that is the narration of the transaction. Okay friends, now third transaction, goods of 4000 is sold to Jigna. Third means date is 7. અહીંયા પાછું એ જોવાનું, ડેટ અહીંયા જે આપ્યું એ લેવાની. goods of 4000 is sold to Jigna. તો Jigna name is given, that means a credit transaction. તો Jigna is receiver and goods goes out. તો Jigna is receiver, debit the receiver ના રૂલ પ્રમાણે Jigna account debit. To goods goes out, so sales account credit. Remember, purchase and sales are opposite. Purchase account is debited while sales account is credited. In case of purchase, goods comes in, and in case of sales, goods goes out. The opposite too can he. Okay. Next, date 12, commission received rupees 200. So here commission is received, that means cash comes in, so cash account debit, and a commission is income, so incomes are credited as per the rule of nominal. So entry number 12, cash account debit to commission 1200 rupees. Okay, being received commission. Okay, and last one, wages expense paid rupees 150. તો હિયર વેજીસ ઇઝ એક્સપેન્સ. તો જો ઇન્કમ આપણે ક્રેડિટ કરતા હોય તો એક્સપેન્સ શું કરવું પડે? ડેબિટ. તો વેજીસ અકાઉન્ટ ડેબિટ ટુ કેશ અકાઉન્ટ because cash goes out. Okay. Now in all the transactions you just observe કે if cash comes in, cash account is debited. If cash goes out, cash account is credited. તમે નોટ કરો, જો કેશ મળી તો કેશ ડેબિટ થયું, કેશ પે કરી તો કેશ શું કર્યું? ક્રેડિટ કર્યું. આ બી નોટ તમે કરતા જાઓ. ઓકે, સો આફ્ટર રેકોર્ડિંગ ધ ટ્રાન્ઝેક્શન્સ વી વિલ મેક ધ ટોટલિંગ, અને ટોટલ ઓફ બોથ ધી સાઇડ ડેબિટ ક્રેડિટ મસ્ટ બી સેમ. ધ રીઝન ઇઝ વેરી સિમ્પલ. જેટલી અમાઉન્ટ આપણે ડેબિટ કરી, સેમ અમાઉન્ટ વી હેવ credited, the total must be same. Okay friends, so this is end of example number 1. Now here the entry what we have passed, these all entries are simple entry. Simple entry means only one account is debited and only one account is credited. But practically we have to apply the combined entry. Now what is concept of combined entry? Generally, for each accounting transaction, separate journal entry is passed, but sometimes only one account is required to debit or credit more than one time. When multiple transactions take place in a day or during specific period of time, in this case, instead of passing separate entry, only one entry is passed, which is known as combined entry. So the definition of combined entry is what? See, in brief, when two or more than two accounts associated for transaction, in such a case combined journal entry can be passed. એટલે more than one account debit થતા હોય or more than one accounts credit થતા હોય. Let me give you an example to understand. આ તમે જુઓ કે on 15th January, okay, wages 300, salary 2000 and telephone bill 500 are paid in cash. Now there are three transactions take place. એક રીતે જુઓ તો 3 transactions થયા. તો normally for each transactions we have to pass a separate entry. Say for example we paid wages, બરાબર? આ જુઓ wages paid, તો wages is expense, wages account debit to cash account 300. We paid salary, salary is expense, salary account debit to cash account 2000, બરાબર? પછી we paid telephone bill, telephone expense account debit to cash account 500 rupees. Okay, so 3 entries are passed for the same date. એક ડેટની 3 entries થઈ. Now if you observe the entry, this is perfectly fine. Entry આમ જ લખાય as per the rule of debit credit. But if you observe this entry, what you will see, that in each of the transaction one account is credited which is common. So અહીંયા cash account credit થયું, here also cash is credited, here also cash is credited. So in all transactions cash account is credited because cash goes out. So is there any solutions to reduce the size of this entry? આ 3 entry આપણે કરી, એની જગ્યાએ એક જ entry કરી હોય તો yes, it is possible. How it is possible? By passing combined entry. Now how we pass the combined entry? તો કે wages is debited, salary is debited and telephone expense is debited. These 3 expenses are debited and cash is commonly credited. So we pass one entry combining these 3. તો એ entry આવી થઈ જુઓ, ચેક કરો. wages account debit, આ ચેક કરો, wages debit, salary debit, telephone expense debit to cash. To cash માં કેટલા? તો કે 300 plus 2000 plus 500, 2800. So this entry is called combined entry. અને કેવી entry કહેવાય? combine. અને આ જે entry pass કરી, that is called simple entry. Simple and combine are conveying the same meaning, but the only thing is combined entry will reduce our size, will save our time. Instead of passing 3 entry, તમે એક જ એન્ટ્રીની અંદર રેકોર્ડ કરી શકો. That is called combined entry. So practically we will apply combined entry in our regular sum. આ એન્ટ્રી આપણે એપ્લાય કરશું, બરાબર છે? Now example 2, એ combined entry બેઝ ઉપર જ છે. જો તમે commence a business with the name of Radhika Helpline, brought in business 20,000 cash, machinery 10,000, stock 15,000. તો 3 assets are brought in the business by owner: cash, machine અને stock. તો all 3 assets are assets. So debit what comes in ના રૂલ પ્રમાણે કેશ અકાઉન્ટ ડેબિટ, મશીન અકાઉન્ટ ડેબિટ, સ્ટોક અકાઉન્ટ ડેબિટ, આ ત્રણેય ડેબિટ થઈ ગયું. ઓકે, now total કરો તો total is 45,000. who is giver of this? Owner. So to capital account credit. So this is how we can pass the combined entry for each of the transactions if more than 2 accounts are associated. Okay friends, ચલો થેન્ક યુ. આ લેક્ચરમાં આટલું. હવે નેક્સ્ટ લેક્ચરની અંદર જે છે એ હું તમને મેઇન એક્ઝામ્પલ જે છે 3થી સ્ટાર્ટ કરાવું છું, બરાબર. એક્ઝામ્પલ નંબર 3 and 4, that 2 example we will try to practice today. Okay, thank you.